Okay, so here is the tour of the website for this is specifically for AP dual credit students here. So we're going to take a look at my website. This is going to be the first of two parts that you do. The first tour is of my website. The second tour is going to be of Schoology and how to churn things in. So again, this is my webpage for AP and dual credit psychology. Again, AP and dual credit psychology taught pretty much the same. So this is the home page right here. And if you go through the home page down to here, you'll have my schedule. Here's what's important about my schedule. First off, if you take a look here for spring of 2021, there we go. As we come down here, you'll notice that that is my 2021 schedule where I got dual credit second period as well as sixth period, and then AP Psychology third and fourth period. Now here's also what's important. Tutoring is available after school every day until at least 3:20. When I'm in the building, I plan on being there until at least 3:20 every day. So anything that you need to make up, any retests, any redo, anything that falls under those lines after school every day. My conference period is seventh period, but rarely am I in my room seventh period. So if you're somebody with early release and you want to take care of something, please try to make sure to be back by 2:50. And unless told otherwise, I'm going to keep that. But if there's some day that I have to leave for some reason or whatever, I'll let you know. Now, here's what's important about APDC psychology. All of your material notice is up here where you see APDC, all the way to Unit 8. So all of your stuff is there and real easy and accessible. And again, some of it has to do with how you set up your computer, you know, on how much of that's going to go across. So when we go here, now it's going all over the place. All right. So if we go here for class information, okay, just to break down basic class information here, if we click on this, that's for in-class learners. That's for Connect learners. That was done back in 2020. Tentative calendar right there. That's going to be updated pretty soon with the 2021 calendar. So if you want to take a look at the 2021 calendar, that should be there. That should be updated relatively soon. I still have to update it with not knowing whether or not there was a snow day added, and of course with my quarantine here early on. So that will be updated relatively quick. Now, when it comes to dual credit psychology, you'll notice here that you have the DC Psych syllabus for Cypress Woods right here. Then over here is going to be the DC Psych syllabus for Lone Star. And Lone Star syllabus is a little bit different from the Cy Woods thing. The real important difference between dual credit psychology at Cy Woods versus at Lone Star is the retest redo policy. There is no retest redo at Lone Star. Also, when it comes to a final exam, as of this moment, we don't know what or if there is a final exam scheduled at Cy Woods. But at Lone Star, your final exam will be your last test. So your Unit 8 test over disorders and therapy will be your final exam there. And that will be updated here shortly. So there's a video over here for an intro to dual credit psych video and intro to DC psych PowerPoint, which is what we looked at the first day of school. Now, if you come down here, this is AP Psychology, the syllabus that you guys took a look at, as well as the intro and welcome video here. Now, what's very important about the syllabus, and both of them really, is again, when you take a look at what grades are worth. Don't forget in both AP and dual credit psychology, it's set up the same, where summative assessments, major grades are going to be 60% of your grades. Assessments are going to be 20%. Daily work is going to be 20%. Retest, redo, you're allowed one per quarter. So in the third quarter, you can retake one test, and you can also retake one quiz. You can also do that again in the fourth quarter. Now, if you are a dual credit student, please know that those retests and those redos only have to do with the Cypress Woods grade, not your Lone Star grade. So that's what's important there. Now, as far as what we are doing in class, you come over here to where it says APDC Psych Unit 1. Again, there's Unit 1, Unit 2, 3, 4, 5. We come to where it says more, you've got Unit 6, 7, and 8. So if we come over here, let's look at APDC Psych Unit 1. Now, as this pops up here, research methods in the history of psychology, which is the first unit to be covered, you'll notice at the top of every unit, you'll see this is unit 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. And again, I apologize for the slow computer. But what you'll notice that shows up at the very top of it, the first two things to show up are your vocabs. All right, so if you don't want to go through Schoology, you don't want to look for where the vocab is and everything else, you can simply go here and get a copy of the vocab number 1, which is research methods, vocab number 2, which is the history of psychology. And again, I apologize for the very slow lag time, but we'll go back up and take a look at that. Then below it, what you're going to see is a copy of the textbook. Here, Myers Psych for second, Myers Psychology for AP second edition. This is used for both of the classes. You'll notice that research methods of Unit 2 is covered in pages 29 to 74. History of psychology is in there, Unit 1. Pages 1 through 28. So if you want to look at the textbook, what I highly recommend you do is actually download the textbook, because if you download the textbook is much, much easier to go through. So if we pop this out right here and you just simply look at the textbook, it's going to take a little bit of time to sort of scan through it. You have to go from page to page to page. Here you can make it bigger, make it smaller, but then again, you're stuck in these individual pages, which can just take you a whole lot of time to sort of work your way through and cycle through. So the easier thing to do is to simply download the book, and then that allows you to navigate through the pages a whole lot easier if you want to. So the textbook is there and it's available for you. If you go back up here, here's where you see the vocabs in each one. Again, what's recommended that you do with each of these vocabs, and you'll notice right here where it pops out, this is where you have the opportunity, once you pop these things out, is you can download these documents over here, which again, highly recommended, because once you download it, then you can go in and you can edit it and do whatever you want and how you turn it in. And of course, the next video, the Schoology video, will talk about how you turn these assignments in. All right, so we've got the vocab 1 and 2 at the top of that, and then we've got the book. These are the AP questions. There are AP questions over every unit, whether you're taking this class AP or dual credit. What these questions represent are basically a review of the particular unit. So if you pop this up, and again, if you download it, it'll provide answers and it's easier to look at. But these are the different questions. So and again, 14.7% of past AP exams have been over research in the history of psychology. So there's 136 multiple choice questions here and 48 different essay topics. So if I were to go through this, like the first question, a group of friends watched a recent episode of a crime investigation show and concluded that they would be able to figure out who was responsible for a crime more proficiently than they did the television investigators. The friends' overestimation of their ability to determine who committed the crime is most likely due to a reasoning error known as, then I look at these particular answers here, and then I go to the next one. Oh, sorry. So we go from... Okay, so we go here, and then so that's our question, and then I go to the next one, and you'll notice hindsight bias is highlighted. That's your answer to that question. So it's easier if you download this, because then when you download it, you go from one to the next, to the next, to the next. It's just easier to go through. And where you see the years on them, that's just the year that the question was published, all right? So there again, you see the next answer is hindsight bias. And then the next answer, I think, also has to do with this idea of variables and whatnot. So again, some of these questions will appear on the exam, but what's more important is if I can answer these AP questions, if I can answer 136 AP questions over this material, odds are the 52 questions that I give you shouldn't be that big of a deal. So I highly, highly, highly recommend that you go and you look at the AP questions. Then after that, what you will see with each unit is this is a PowerPoint. So this is the first PowerPoint we went over in class. Then over here is a link to a YouTube video, which is about 35 minutes long, which is a lecture over this particular PowerPoint. So if you missed a day, and you want to see the lecture on that particular PowerPoint, you could go there. You want something re-explained, you could fast forward through the YouTube video and sort of go and figure out where that stuff is. This was recorded back in August to give you a feel of this. So again, you can look at the PowerPoint here, any PowerPoint that you saw. So if you missed a day, whatnot, it's just an easy way to sort of work your way through. Then once you get through all the PowerPoints, which you'll also notice here is I also have videos from the class as well. This one on the placebo effect called Cracking the Code, which is something I might recommend that you do. And then what you'll also see here are crash course videos over the material that we covered. And then I'll also put in some AP College Board videos, which is just another way. So you hear a voice from another person going over this particular video. And you'll see this for every unit working its way through. If you go to APDC Psych Unit 2, it's really kind of sort of the same thing, just a different unit. So as we go to biology and then the idea of evolutionary psychology, nature versus nurture, you will see at the top of this, again, a very slow loading computer, you'll see what will be vocab number 3 and vocab number 4, which is what will be due on unit 2. So those vocabs right there, the Myers textbook again, the AP questions over unit 2, the PowerPoints and the lectures, all available for you right there. Now, what's also important for APDC Psych is up here where it says APDC Psych review material. I'm just skipping past that because it's taking a while to download. Even if you're not taking dual credit, the APDC material is still very, very important for you to go to as well, because this can help you through each unit. For example, if we take a look at this right here, this is the AP Psych Massive Vocabulary, all right? And also names to know and other stuff. This is broken down by unit, which was just updated by me last summer. So again, sorry for the delay, but if we pop this out right here, even though it's taking a little bit of time to download, what you'll notice when you look at this document, assuming that it's coming up, but when you look at this document, this is various different things and topics and definitions that are broken down by unit. And again, I apologize for the slowness here, but it's broken down by unit. So it's not alphabetical or anything like that. It's in the order that we cover it. I would highly recommend that you download this and that you print it out, even though it does say 50 pages. It's really sort of good to keep into a notebook. So again, you'll see like hindsight bias, you'll see examples of hindsight bias in there as well as a definition. And then when you see this pound sign next to it, that means it was an AP essay topic. There was an essay question on it. When you see an asterisk next to it, that means, like over here for correlation, that means that there were actual AP exam questions on it from the released question. So like correlation has a bunch of released AP test questions, and also 3 times it was an essay topic. So that will sort of show you the importance of it. And I think that if you open it or you download it, the graphics will be in there as well, which I do not currently. Oh, there are some graphics that I don't currently see. So again, this goes in order. So like for unit 1 is the first 3 pages for part 1 of unit 1. And then the history of psychology goes on to page 4. So 1 through 4 is unit 1. And this will just sort of help you through it and make it easier to reference that material there. So that can help you out. Then if we go over to this document right here, this is names to know. But this is alphabetized. So again, this is another document that you could print out if you'd like, and these are actual names that are important in psychology. And also at the end of the names to know is just a little graphic there on psychology as well. All right, and now if you are an AP psychology student, you'll notice here how to write FRQs, which is something we'll go over about a week before the AP exam. And then also there are a lot of AP review materials, how to write an FRQ from the College Board. And then there are these various types of prep books. books. That if you don't want to buy a prep book, you just want to look at a prep book, those are available on there for you as well, so that you can peruse them, see which one works best for you. I'm sure I'm not breaking too many publishing laws there. And then crash course videos and some other videos as well to help you out. And again, this is all the way through. So that's kind of a tour of my website. So what you're going to see at the end of this is a quiz over what we talked about here, and then also a quiz over what we talk about, what I talk about in Schoology. So you're going to take that quiz, and then you're also going to give me an example of turning something in as well. So let me stop the recording.